teaching also that all of this, once you begin to study it, all of them have an eternal message. That Sayyidina Othman, Sayyidina Omar, Sayyidina Abu Bakr, Sayyidina Ali, Sayyidina Muhammad means that without the completion of love, the soul and the heart is not opening. That's why it's not acceptable not to accept. The heart won't open, the reality of the heart can't open. They're teaching you that the position of this Sahabi is an eternal reality of the soul. It's not just random names and random people Allah put together. That at the level of knowledge, Sayyidina Uthman Qaddasallahu Siru is responsible for knowledge. Why Prophet gave 2 daughters and he's compiler of Holy Quran? Means no Uthman, no compiled Quran. We have for ourselves a compiled Quran and all the tashkeel, all the notes of it, all its secret encodings by Sayyidina Uthman. It's unimaginable because each dot, each nook, each wow, each line of it is an immense secret. That he encoded everything by order of Prophet. So it means the station of knowledge and that reality begins to open. Then Sayyidina Omar Farooq, it's not a coincidence that he's at the station of war and the station of struggle, and that the nation was not standing up for itself until Allah until Prophet asked to send me one of them. Why? Because Qajal Haq wa Zahaq al Batil means the ayat of Quran al-Sharif is at that level, Qajal Haq. There are certain ayahs that always are on these levels. Isma kullaha. So you see, that's why always Mawlana Shaykh reciting certain ayahs always, because this is in regards to the levels of the heart and the reality of the heart. Qajal Haq wa Zahaq al Batil. So who's representing that struggle and the way of struggle with Sayyidina? Where Prophet described that if there was a Prophet after me, it would be Sayyidina Omar. And that Sayyidina Omar must come to perfect our soul, that you have to struggle for what's correct. Don't stay silent to oppression. Not the oppression outside. Now Amr bil Ma'ruf, they're lying. They want to go and correct everybody but not correct themselves. Amr bil Ma'ruf, and then they slap you. And they could be a thief and a crook and all sorts of unimaginable characteristics. That ayah and that understanding was for ourselves. The Amr Maruf by yourself, that come against oppression yourself, come against your bad character yourself, destroy everything within you that's bad before you can possibly judge anyone else. Otherwise, you stand the risk of Allah's severe punishment. Allah said, how you judge my creation and you didn't judge yourself? You didn't fix all of your own wrongdoings. That's why Allah come into our lives and they teach us to be humble. That don't see anything wrong with anyone, see only wrong with ourselves. So it means that Sayyidina Omar is coming, his light must be dressing. Again, when he is in the world of souls come, when Prophet asks Sayyidina Omar that go to this beloved servant and dress from what Allah has dressed you. When you read about the Sahabi or awliyaullah, that if you mention me, I dress you from my secret. What does that mean? That they sit and they speak some words to you? This is the world of light. It means you have to begin to think outside the box. Don't think physical. They come and they're going to recite. What do they have to recite for? You're in the world of light. They merely sit in your presence of your soul. Their light dresses your light. You won't know its beginning and its end. These 2 light bulbs go on. When their color comes, their dress comes, it comes fully loaded, their light, and intermingle and dress your soul. Dress your soul with light, with the ability to struggle, with the ability to stand up for truth, with the ability to come against oppression, internal oppression before you can go against external oppression. And then all of them connected to Sayyidina Muhammad, all of them connected to the center, all of them receiving that light and that power. Like Sayyidina Malik, means the authority from the central power is in charge of all 4 directions, all 4 powers. That reality of Prophet holds them together and dressing them eternally. So then they're dressing and passing through that light and now coming into the world of light and the perfection of the sir. The Sir Sir where Naqshbandiya starts is with Sayyidina Abu Bakr. All other tariqas, they have from Qalb to the Sir. And to the level of the Sir, they understood that Prophet ﷺ is the Sultan of all this universe. But to go into the dimensions and these realities, Naqshbandiya starts because the inheritance is with Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. And begin to teach us Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is the Siddiqiyya relationship and the perfection of character. That he gave everything to Prophet ﷺ to establish that Prophet ﷺ would say to the whole of creation, you have to love me more than you love yourself. That is iman. Because that dialogue between Sayyidina Omar, Sayyidina Abu Bakr and Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ. You have to love me, you have to give everything for Prophet ﷺ and love Prophet ﷺ more than you love yourself. That is faith, that is why the station of light, the station of the white light. This is the Sir Sir, and now the perfection of the soul. The Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq comes and says to be a Siddiq, to be truthful, to be upholding and righteous servant of the Divine Presence, that they granted you knowledge, they granted you struggle, now I'm going to come and perfect your character, that you sacrifice yourself entirely for Prophet. And then they hand us to Sayyidina Ali alayhi salam. I mean the one who's the master of fighting, the victorious lion of Allah teaches us that now you're coming because we are the owners of the Kawthar, all of them drinking from it, but wants to take us to the prophetic inheritance, the family inheritance. All of this is a Siddiqiyya inheritance. But coming and teaching that come into this reality, we are the owners of the Kawthar, Ataynaka al-Kawthar. But I'm going to show you Sali Rabbika, pray unto your Lord. Lordship and the reality of the kingdom. Pray to Allah and acknowledge all of this authority, the authority of Sayyidina Muhammad, the superior authority of all the companions, the angels, the ahlul bayt. Acknowledge all of them, and I show you how to live a life of sacrificing yourself, where you put your head on the table to be zabih. Now you see people putting other people's heads on the table, and they say they want to purify them for Allah. They say, no, no, you purify yourself for Allah. Come to us, we show you to put your head on the table. So then you look at the lives of pious people, how much they took azab and bala from people, how much they suffered at the hands of people. Abu Yazid al-Bistami, how many rocks they threw at him, how many curses they throw at pious people, how much difficulty they throw upon pious people. Why? They prayed unto their Lord and they sacrificed. They know that when difficulty comes, they intercede for humanity. They intercede because they're trying to reenact the reality that Sayyidina Ali alayhi salam moves. That is, my brother perfected your siddiqiyya and truthfulness, and that you gave everything for Prophet ﷺ. Come to me, then I show you now how to sacrifice yourself and stay quiet. That when you sacrifice yourself, it means you are serving this Malik, you are serving this king, you are serving this reality. So then he shows by example through his beloved sons. All of them were shaheed. Imam Hassan salam shaheed, and Sayyid al-Shuhada means the master of this maqam to witness this reality, Imam Hussein alayhi salam. Come and teach that these are the owners of the Kawthar, فَصَلِّ رَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ, that they sacrificed and obliterated their physicality. Because this station of annihilation and fana that Imam Hussein alayhi salam is showing through Sayyidina alayhi salam is that we not only obliterate spiritually, but we obliterated physically. It says 72 plus the holy body of Imam Hussein alayhi salam were shredded into the desert. Their bodies shredded and decapitated these holy bodies. And they teach this is sacrifice. Not that they came and annihilated and obliterated entire towns and villages and went from village to village and slaughtered everybody. They said, no, we go and allow ourselves to be slaughtered so that we can intercede and that we can show Prophet ﷺ, ummati, 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 Ya Rasulullah, we came to serve and uphold that you are Allah's Rahmah. That we are not here as oppressors on this earth, but we are Rahmah. So they lead by example, an example that nobody can follow. But they show us this is your hero, that serve, not by hurting and abusing people, but taking their hurt and their abuse, carrying their burdens and their difficulties, and stay silent so that you can take these bags into the presence of Prophet. And what Allah if you can reach to this destination of Prophet, Allah says, I will obliterate all your opponents. It means I grant you my rida and satisfaction. I grant you annihilation. This is the station of the master of annihilation. Why it's black? Because no more manifestation. The Prophet is the Lord of annihilation, the master of annihilation, where if he teaches you how to annihilate, he even annihilate you within your annihilation, that you no longer manifest the light, because he's going to take you into the innermost secret of Allah's divine presence, to witness, not to be one. There's no oneness with Allah's divine greatness, but to witness. Witness what Allah wants our souls to witness, but you can't have an existence in that presence. So Prophet like a black hole teaches you, be nothing. That even your somethingness will vanish in that black light. That's why it's black, because nothing manifests back. So the Lord of annihilation, the Lord of that reality, the master of that reality, Sayyidina Muhammad, means that all this reality into that ocean, that without the love of the companions, this ocean can't be achieved. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.